All right, time for our last case study, which will examine a 10-pay policy. A 10-pay policy is a great option if you're interested in maximizing the internal rate of return, particularly with MassMutual's 10-pay product. So if you're interested in a high cash value life insurance policy, you like MassMutual as your carrier of preference, you will find that their 10-pay product does maximize the internal rate of return, meaning you'll see a higher IRR in cash value when you compare their 10-pay products to all of their other products, focusing on the non-guaranteed values. That is, with respect to the 10-pay, not always consistent with all carriers across the board. I'll mention that very quickly. However, this will be consistent with the last two examples we looked at, the traditional whole life and also the high early cash value product, because they were all MassMutual policies. So we're going to look at a 10-pay policy. So a 10-pay policy, payable for 10 years. Specifically, the premium can be paid for 10 years. Question, if you have a 10-pay policy, does that mean that you have to pay the premium for 10 years? No, it does not. You can design a policy where you can fund it for 3 or 4 years, or maybe it's 7 years, or you can plan to fund it for 10 and then stop after 5. Very flexible, just like the dollar amount is as well. I always like to add that because a lot of times people see that term 10-pay and think, I have to pay into it for 10 years. Don't I? No, you do not. The dollar amount will be consistent with the last two examples, $100,000 per year. From a design standpoint, we're going to look at the exact same thing. A, B, and C. A is 100% premium, B is 50% premium, C is 10% premium. And when we reduce the premium, what we're doing is keeping the 100K per year the same, just putting the rest into PUAs. Now, what I will add about the 10-pay product is with respect to the base premium, it is not like a traditional whole life insurance policy where 0 shows up in cash value. What you'll see, it's going to depend on your age, slightly the amount, but on average, you're going to see about 30 to 35% of whatever the base premium is show up in cash value. For example, you have a $100,000 base premium, you'll see between $30,000 and $35,000 show up in cash value in the first year. Then the growth accelerates. The break-even point will be earlier than a traditional product or a high early cash value product. So if you've got an all base premium policy and you're looking at Whole Life 100, a high early cash value, and the 10-pay, the 10-pay is going to break even earlier. The high early will have more right out of the gates, but that 10-pay will overtake it, assuming you're funding all three for 10 years and stopping, because the 10-pay, we can fund the premium only for 10 years. So with that said, let's take a look at the designs, shall we? What we will begin with is not this. First, we'll look at the actual illustrations and we'll have some fun. So let's go down to the tabular values here. And this is a 100% base premium example. So what we've got here is 100K per year going in. You'll see this in the contract premium column. Then you've got your guaranteed cash value. And then over here, your non-guaranteed cash value. Where's the money going? 100% premium, no PUAs in this example. First year cash value, I said 30 to 35%. In this example, we've got an ultra preferred male, age 40, a little bit higher, 36, almost 37% of his payment shows up in cash value in the first year. Total death benefit, 1.5 million and change. MEC limit, just over $100,000. How an insurance company positioned a 10-pay product, how it has been explained to me by individuals in the past, wholesalers in particular, is they'll state that a 10-pay policy is already blended with premium and PUA dollars, meaning the base premium, it carries a design and a commission rate that functions as if a percentage of that is already going toward the premium, and then a percentage is already going toward PUAs. Which, if you're interested in a maximum cash value, where that's nice is we can design a policy still where we lower that premium. So if we kick it down to 10%, which we'll see an example of that, you still have that same blended concept where a percentage of that, the product is functioning as if a percentage of that 10K in premium is going toward PUAs. And then I can add 90% PUAs on top of it. I hope that made sense. You'll see the numbers in a little bit when we get to it. But my point is you can really juice the cash value. As we look at this, 100K per year going in. By year 8, you've paid in $800,000. By year 9, $900,000. There's your cash value. So breaks even between years 8 and 9. And again, this is a 100% base premium example. So let's take a look at the 50-50 design. Now, with a 10 pay, when you start to add PUAs, you're going to have a term insurance rider. Because if we go back to the 100% example, with all premium, we don't have much mech space to add more dollars. So here we go. We've got a 50-50 design. What I mean when I say that, 50% of our payment is directed toward premium. We've got a term rider attached as well. The main thing is here's the premium, $50,000. Annual net outlay, 100 grand. So you've got 50K in premium. And then 50K in PUAs. $66,000 in cash value right out of the gates, a break-even point between years 6 and 7. We're going to look at these side by side, so you'll be able to compare the long-term value. MEC limit, by the way, up top, $120,000. So you do have some window room to add more money. Last guy, 1090 design. 10% premium. Couple term riders attached. Cost of that term rider, about $800. We also have a 1-year term rider here. We've got a lot of term attached. The reason why is that base premium of 10 grand, it does not get as much whole life insurance, 150,000. We need almost 10x that to be able to pay in 100 grand per year. So we do need to add a lot of term insurance to the policy in order to achieve that MEC limit of $100,000. Now, adding a lot of term might sound like a bad thing. It's not. And in order to prove that to yourself, what I would recommend, follow the money, the net cash value column, both on a guaranteed and a non-guaranteed basis, because that's going to show the net cash value, net of all term insurance expenses, premium expenses, everything that comes with the policy. So looking at this, your break-even point is what? Year 4. Following the money, I see more up front, just about 90%. Early break-even point, looks good. Let's look at the comparison here. So what we've got is first, the 100% base premium example. So as we look at this, compared to the 50-50 design, what do you notice? With the 100% base premium, we've got our premium in red. We don't have any purple column because there's no PUAs with this. The 50-50, red, purple. There's technically a small amount of that purple going toward term, like we saw in the illustration. But the net out of pocket for you, the policyholder in this case, is identical. Break even, much earlier. And if we go down to age 65, cash value and death benefit compared to cash value and death benefit is what? Who's the winner? 50-50. It's got more in cash value. Death benefit, the 100% has slightly more. We can scroll down further. That 50-50 will look better. But let's look at the 1090 here. 10% premium, 90% PUA, same 100K out of pocket, much earlier break-even point. Let us do this. We'll get rid of the 100% example and compare these two. Cash value difference, let's go light blue here, which will show how much more or less you have in this example, the 1090 design, compared with the 50-50 design. Same thing with the death benefit difference. And this is based on the non-guaranteed values. What do we notice as time passes? Got more from start to finish. The gap is closed ever so slightly as I really get up there in age, but it doesn't matter. I've gotten more from start to finish here based on the non-guaranteed values. What happens when we look at the guaranteed values? Here's the base premium example. Look at your break even. 21 years. 50-50 design. When's your break even? 17 years. 1090 design. 13 years. Which example gives me the greatest amount of value, both cash value and death benefit, short-term and long-term? Minimizing the premium does. Consistency we see across the board here. The goal here for this individual is to maximize the cash value. From an awareness standpoint, like the last three, we'll do the same thing. And look at this guy. Let's wrap up with this. Now, what I'll add about the compensation is the 10-pay product uses a different term here, referred to as a target premium. The other two products we looked at do as well, but the base premium is always the target with the Whole Life 100 and higher yearly cash value product. It's different with a 10-pay. It's not always going to be 30% of the base premium. It'll usually be a little bit more. It could hover around 30%, but we're just going to use 30% for this example. So these are approximates, not accurate figures. So let's take a look at the compensation here. So we've got the amounts in. There you go. And this is lifetime commission. This is not how much someone's making each year. So how we've got our commission workbook programmed here, we've got the annual commissions and then the total, which simply tallies up the annual commissions year over year. But there you go. I mean, what you'll find to be consistent is, especially when looking at the guarantees, the higher the cash value, the lower the commission, which is typically how it works. And again, the purpose of showing commissions, we showed them in these case studies because they come up in question quite a bit. And just to give you my thoughts on commissions, and I'll close with this, is I do not think that it's bad for any agent to get paid. Like, it's not. That's how you make a living. That's how we generate revenue for our business, by selling whole life insurance policies, and we're paid a commission. And that's how we operate, through commissions on whole life insurance sales. With that said, when you look at commissions and whole life insurance and consumers, individuals that are specifically interested in whole life insurance and state, I want to maximize the cash value. That's why I'm interested in the policy. Maximize my cash value. Maximize my cash value. It's reiterated. That's why they're interested in it. If I hear that, know that I can design a policy with as much cash value as possible, like what we just saw, but then design a policy that doesn't have maximum cash value, but has a higher commission, that's where I have an issue with it. So if transparency is provided and the individual who's purchasing the policy can pick the one that they feel is best for them, well, then in my mind, that solves everything. But there's got to be transparency there. This way, when a policy is selected, you can select the one that you're most comfortable with. And as the agent, if you're showing the options and the individual you are working with picks the one he or she is interested in the most because that's the one they want to maximize their value, well, then the commission is what it is. That's how I always look at it. And if you do the right thing, you'll do fine in the business. Anyway, those are my closing thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this case study. I know we went through a lot of details in this one and the last several videos as well. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you'd like to see any other videos with different products or have specific questions or case studies you would like to see. And as always, I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, Steve here with IBC Global. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're interested in a whole life insurance policy and you'd like to work with our company in setting it up, please visit our website, ibcglobalinc.com. We would love to work with you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps.